In the city of Sacramento, we have been talking about it all day. The results for Measure O are still being counted. Take a look at your screen right now. 56% saying yes. So Measure O, if passed, would make it easier to clear homeless camps in the city. But it's a lot more complex than that. I spoke to Sacramento's mayor one-on-one today inside City Hall about why he supports the measure. Oh, so that's the Emergency Shelter and Enforcement Act that would ban encampments on public property in the city of Sacramento. It would also require the city manager to authorize hundreds of new shelters within 3 months of it taking effect. So if the measure does pass, how will the city really handle not only getting those shelters up, but making sure that they're operating efficiently?
Well, there's also a $5 million limitation on how much the city will spend on additional shelter. Remember, we're not starting from scratch. 17,000 people have gone through our homeless entry system in the city and county of Sacramento since 2017 and gotten housed. And yet, the problem has grown worse. And so Measure O is a small piece that I hope will push us, yes, to build more shelter, but the real important part of this, and frankly the only reason I supported it, was because it requires, before it goes into effect, a legally binding partnership agreement with the county of Sacramento. Because the city is not a homeless service agency. We don't do mental health. We don't do substance abuse treatment. The county is the Health and Human Services agency for the state of California. And so we desperately need their help and their partnership if we're going to make the kind of difference on homelessness that the people rightfully expect.
And what about the critics who say that this is a business community funded measure that really focuses on enforcement, not necessarily helping people who are experiencing homelessness?
I don't like the way the measure was put together. I think, I hope the business community maybe learned a few lessons that you ought to work more collaboratively with the community, with your elected officials. You know, they threatened us with an initiative that could bankrupt the city unless we, quote, negotiated with them. Well, we're already building 1,100 beds and already doing more than our share. So I'm not thrilled about the way that it was put together. But in the end, I support it because it provides that linkage with the county.
And last question I want to ask you. We know that in Sacramento County alone, there's over 9,000 people experiencing homelessness on any given night.
Correct.
If you had to give yourself a grade on how you're handling the homelessness crisis, what grade would you give yourself?
I don't know. I'd give myself a grade. I mean, I think here's the tough part of this question. I've actually done everything that I promised the voters I would do. I have brought tens of millions of dollars to the city. We've increased our shelter and bed capacity from less than 100 when I started to 1,100 a night. And so in terms of results, we've gotten thousands of people off the streets. In terms of results, done everything I said I would do, and yet I recognize the problem is worse. People are becoming homeless faster than we can get them off the streets.
So what will it
I'm
take?
responsible for, I'm always accountable. So in that sense, I'm not satisfied, and I know the people are not satisfied. And that's why I continue at it, and that's why I'm now working so hard with the county to try to finalize a partnership. So let's continue to fight for a better outcome, but also recognize that we need a national housing policy. I mean, we need more help, frankly, from the federal government.